Karodhagam Atmaje. Tasmin Mahabhagavate Mahabhage Mahatmani Hiranyakashipu Rajan Karodhagam Atmaje. Tasmin Mahabhagavate Mahabhage Mahatmane Hiranyakashipu Rajan Akarodhagam Atmaje. Tasmin Mahabhagavate Mahabhage Mahatmani Hiranyakashipu Rajan Akarodhagam Vaishnavi. Tasmin Mahabhagavate Mahabhage Mahatmane Hiranyakashipu Rajan Akarodhagam Atmaje. Tasmin Mahabhagavate Mahabhage Mahatmani Jan Nakarodhagam Atmaje. Tasmin, unto him, Mahabhagavate, an exalted devotee of the Lord, Mahabhage, most fortunate, Mahatmani, whose mind was very broad, Hiranyakashipu, the demon Hiranyakashipu, Rajan, O king, Akarot, performed Agham, very great sin, Atmaje, to his own son. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. My dear King Yudhishthir, the demon Hiranyakashipu tormented this exalted, fortunate devotee, although Prahlad was his own son. Please repeat, please. My dear King Yudhishthir, the demon Hiranyakashipu tormented this exalted, fortunate devotee, although Prahlad was his own son. Purport. When a demon like Hiranyakashipu, despite his elevated position due to severe austerities, begins to tease a devotee, he begins falling down, and the results of his austerities dwindle. One who oppresses a pure devotee loses all the results of his austerities, penances, and pious activities. Since Hiranyakashipu was now inclined to chastise his most exalted devotee son, Prahlad Maharaj, his opulences began dwindling. Om Jnanatimanandasya Giranjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyarishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shriya Dvaita Radha Shiva Sari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this verse, Maha, 3 times. No. In the case of Parikshit Maharaj, it was 2 times. In the sense that everyone was very concerned that this last possibility to continue the dynasty with qualified kings, because up to that point the kings were so qualified. So now this last person, so everyone was wondering, what kind of a person is he? Is he a Mahabhagavat? And the Brahmin said, no, he's a Mahabhagavat Mahan. No. He's a Mahabhagavat. But here we see Prahlad Maharaj is characterized as Maha. No, Bhagavat. No, Mahabhagavate, Mahabhagaye, and Mahatmani. No. So, a great soul, a greatly fortunate person, and a great devotee of the Lord. So, practically speaking, Prahlad Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, whenever he speaks about a devotee, and especially a devotee's forbearance, ability to withstand anything, he uses the example of Prahlad Maharaj. And it's interesting in Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, he says that demons like Hiranyakashipu tease. So this word in English, tease, it's generally not so serious. No, how you tease someone, it's like, like a child. You may tease them a little bit, and then you reward them. So I see that Srila Prabhupada used that word to show that in spite of the intolerable torture that Prahlad Maharaj was subjected to, for a devotee of his stature, it wasn't such a big thing. No. Otherwise, it's just teasing. No. But akarod agham. No. But very sinful. It's sinful because he was a devotee, and even more sinful because Atmajay, he's his son. No. At least, just like in my case, in many devotees' cases, especially those of us born in the West, whose parents were not devotees, no, even though they didn't agree, they were opposed, parents were opposed to Krishna consciousness, but still they had some affection because we're son. No? But here, this shows the nature of a demon, just like Kamsa. No? Kamsa was ready to kill his sister, ready to kill all the sons, even after seeing Vasudev's nature, magnanimous nature. I will bring you the sons as they're born. Just don't make us live in chains. No. And so, Kamsa didn't really believe it, but then when he brought the first son, here, Kamsa thought, there's no need. There's no need to keep them chained up, and there's no need to really kill them until the 6th son. But then he went back, and his demoniac ministers, and they said, "No, how do you know? Are we counting 1 to 6 or 6 to 1? No, is it the 6th one, meaning the 6th one appears first or last? No, so better to kill them all immediately." No, just a little bit of bad advice. Demon. They have no they have no any kind of morals, scruples. They are very, very only thinking of themselves. And the society we live in nowadays, that is the mentality. Just think of yourself. This is the new mark of modern psychology. Just think of yourself. Whatever you want, you can do. You can have anything you want. Everything is based on the individual. I know even in the U.S., I don't know if they still do it, but when I was young, they would say, it was very common to say, you have to think of number one, which means yourself. Like many people used to have this saying on their car, they would put on, like people put these stickers on their car and say, I have God as my co-pilot. But I thought, better to have him as pilot, and you can be the co-pilot. But always this egocentric, I am the most important person. And Krishna is there, as the Bhagavatam says, he's there, but everything is reversed. Bhayam vidvitya biniveshata syat. When we think that the secondary cause, or material energy, or maya, or illusion, is the cause of everything, just like Krishna in Govardhan Lila, he explained to his father, Krishna uses, if we use Mayavad or Karma Mimamsha philosophy, it is, it's against our principles. But if Krishna uses it, it's perfect. Otherwise, Krishna, if we steal, it's very bad. If Krishna steals, it's very wonderful. So even Krishna can take Mayavad philosophy or Karma Mimamsha philosophy and use it, and it becomes beneficial. Anything that Krishna does. And therefore, it's always advised that we accept. Someone wrote me a message yesterday or day before saying, oh, these demons are so horrible. I really dislike the influence of the demons. And I said, but that was not the mood of the residents of Vrindavan. The demons brought Krishna closer to them. And therefore they were very happy. The demons came, Krishna protected them. And so they took more shelter of Krishna. And therefore demons or difficulties in our lives, for a devotee, everything is meant to bring us closer to Krishna. And if we see that way, then we're never disturbed. This was, I think, in the previous verse. I think Prabhupada mentions that Prahlad Maharaj was never disturbed because he was always thinking of Krishna's lotus feet. So he was never disturbed through this whole thing. This is the characteristic of one who is very dear to Krishna, according to Bhagavad Gita, that Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chaya. That the characteristic of a devotee is that a devotee never disturbs anyone and is never disturbed by anyone. This is a very difficult thing to do. Generally speaking, if somebody does something wrong, we immediately become disturbed. If somebody acts in such a way that goes against how I think things should be, they become disturbed. And the devotee harsha marsha bayodve ghair is never disturbed by happiness or distress. As Krishna says, that dukeshvanudvigna mana sukeshu vigatas priyaha. He's not disturbed by difficult situations, and he's not disturbed by happiness. No. Sometimes we may try to practice Krishna consciousness and not be disturbed by difficult situations. But to not be disturbed by happiness, that's very difficult. No. To see material happiness as something that I don't want. Just like later on in this canto, chapter 10, where Prahlad Maharaj, he asks, when Nrsimhadev asked Prahlad Maharaj to take some blessing, and Prahlad Maharaj says, "No, my lord." He says, no several times. He makes different offers. Just like also Kolavecha Sridhar. When Kolavecha Sridhar came before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Mahapraharana Lila, when Lord Chaitanya revealed himself to everyone. So Kolavecha, by his surrender, first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reminded him, because he actually didn't realize who Lord Chaitanya was, that he was Krishna. When he had all these interchanges of, Lord Chaitanya would come and say, "Your prices are too high." And he would say, "Well, if you don't like my price, go buy them somewhere else." No, I want you to be honest. You should be an honest person, not try to get so much. How much was he charging? He was barely charging anything. He had nothing. He lived in a hut with holes in the roof. And when it rained, he would just move over to the other side. And Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya was revealing this to him. And he said, "Actually, I'm a Brahmin. You should give me bananas. I shouldn't even have to pay for them." And he said, "Please go somewhere else with your disturbing with your disturbing attitude." And then Lord Chaitanya was so pleased with him that he drank water from his, rusted out, old, practically falling apart, his lota. He drank water. And then Lord Chaitanya revealed all this to him, and he realized that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he realized how, and when he appeared as Krishna, he was there. And then Lord Chaitanya said, "You have done so much sacrifice. I will make you a king and very opulent." He said, "No, my Lord, please. No. Then I will give you all mystic powers." "No, my dear Lord. And what do you want?" "I just want that I can be the banana seller and you can always buy my bananas. That's what I want. Eternally, let me always provide you with what you need. I want to be your servant." And Lord Chaitanya blessed him. So in the same way, Prahlad, I don't want this, I don't want that. Save my father, your father's already saved. Only thing I want is your service birth after birth. But still, Nrsimhadev said, "No, I'm going to give you a blessing, whether you like it or not. And here's your blessing. First, I will make you the king of the demons. So you have to deal with demons and you will suffer so much. This will get rid of all your sinful activities." Now Prahlad Maharaj had no sinful activity. But being surrounded by demons, if I'm telling the demons to go attack the devotees, then that's, indirectly that's a sinful activity. Go kill the devotees. So by doing this, you will get rid of all your sinful activities. And also, I will give you unlimited opulence, and you will get rid of all your pious activities. So when a devotee has some pleasurable situation, they understand the Lord is giving me His mercy by getting rid of my pious activities. Because impious and pious activities will both bind us to this material world. So this was This was his mercy. So, sukeshu vigatas priyaha. Very difficult to give these things up. Vita raga bhaya krodha. And also, raga, give up all attachment. Just like, very similar to Prahlad Maharaj's situation is Ambarish Maharaj. He vita raga. When in the ninth canto, the 4th chapter, when it describes the activities of Ambarish Maharaj, because here it says that Hiranyakashipu performed so many austerities, and he got, it says, an elevated position. He got an elevated position. So also it's mentioned, but because those severe activities were materialistic, he lost them, especially due to his offenses to Prahlad Maharaj and to his son. Now, but it also states in the Bhagavatam, in the 4th chapter, 9th canto, that he performed severe austerity. But Srila Prabhupada, he tells what are those austerities. Otherwise, what are the austerities that a devotee should perform? And he says, which is also mentioned in that same chapter in texts 20, 21, 22, and 23, that the qualities of Ambarish Maharaj, how he used everything in Krishna's service. He performed all the 9 processes of devotional service. And so, one of the austerities that Prabhupada mentions is dressing the deity, cleansing the deity. You have to get up early in the morning. You have to bathe. You have to purify yourself. And you cleanse the deity, and you bring pots of water. Of course, we just turn on the faucet, but usually, in older times, you would have to go to the Ganga or Yamuna or Godavari and bring pots of water. Just like the Brahmin from from Pandharpur. He, in his mind, when he was meditating, because he had no external ability, in his mind he brought every day hundreds of pots of water, and he was doing this mentally. He was going to the river, getting the pot, bringing it, and putting it on the deity, he wasn't just thinking, if we tried to do that, we would just think, okay, all the water, that's finished. No. But he was going through step by step, going to the river, and everything he was doing. He was cooking for the deity. He was meditating so profoundly that, he was stirring and, adding the spices and whatever. And then, of course, the famous part when he thought the sweet rice was too hot. Hot sweet rice is not very enjoyable. Prabhupada said it is a gentleman's drink. So you don't drink it hot. It still tastes good, but it doesn't taste like when it's cool. So he burnt his finger. And then when he woke up, when he went out of his meditation, his finger was burnt. This is very unusual. It's very unusual that this happens. Because just like when Pundarik Vidyanidhi was together, he was very close friends with Swarup Damodar. So they would go to the temple to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. And one day during the what's it called? The Shasti Odana, when they put the new cloth on Lord Jagannath, Pundarik saw that, and he said, "This is wrong. This cloth is contaminated. Has to be washed first, and it's very, it's very starchy cloth. Sometimes if you buy cloth and it has so much starch, you could just stand it up and it won't fall over. And so, but Swarup Damodar said, no, this is local custom, not a problem. No, can't do it. That these customs should be changed. This is not proper. You don't do this to the deity. And Swarup Damodar, no, this is local custom. And they were arguing for some time. Then they both went home. And then Lord Jagannath and Baladev came in the dream of Pundarik, and they slapped him on the face. We like the way our devotees are serving us. This also happened to Ramanuja. He came to Jagannath Puri with all kind, they're not following properly. They're not doing things according to Shastra. And Lord Jagannath just transported him. He woke up, he was in Kurmakshetra. So, of course, he established the worship properly in Kurmakshetra, so that was good. But they accepted. So Pundarik, he woke up in the morning and he saw his reflection. His cheeks were all red and bruised. And he thought, I can't go to the temple like this. People will ask me what happened and what can I say? But then Swarup Damodar thought, what's happened? Pundarik always comes to the temple at this time. So he went to Pundarik's door, knocked on the door, and Pundarik just opened the door a little bit. Yes? No. He said, I need to see you. What's wrong? Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. And no, let me come in. No. Finally, he opened the door. He said, what happened? So he explained everything. And Swarup Damodar said, just see, I know many devotees who the Lord has appeared to them in the dream, but I don't know anyone where it has become manifest in the external platform. Your devotion is the greatest. That actually your dream became manifest on the external platform. So this Brahmin also, he had this is an austerity. And then he mentions other austerities, preaching, distributing our books, and Prabhupada says door to door. He always said door to door. So I have tomorrow when we have some Sankirtan time, I'll explain how that can actually happen. And Prabhupada said that, Of course, nowadays it's very difficult to go door to door. Most people live in big apartments with a guard. If you show up with a big bag of books and try to go door to door, they won't let you in. Or people that have a big house, they have a big fence and locked gate. Very difficult to get in. So door to door is a little more difficult. But we can do it electronically. We can go door to door. But Prabhupada, I always understood, why did Prabhupada say that? Because Prabhupada said he wanted every home to be Krishna conscious. And therefore door to door, which was very possible in his time. There was no guards at the door. People were very open. Society was very open. Now people live in so much fear of something will happen, someone will disturb me. So anyway, and Prabhupada mentions, these are the austerities for a devotee. Of course, one time Srila Prabhupada was asked, what austerities should we perform? And Srila Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna. He said, but what else, Srila Prabhupada? He said, chant more. Otherwise, so many things in devotional service, even simple things, are an austerity because we're so distracted by Maya, so distracted by the mind. Even if one is not grossly distracted by Maya, Maya attacks us in the mind becomes distracted. So you're not doing anything wrong necessarily, but you're just not concentrated on the holy name. Just like I just read again, the 10 points that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj left for the devotees. And he said that chant very seriously and with great attention year round. We have to concentrate on that because we're so distracted. Maya is so powerful that we become distracted. So Ambarish Maharaj, he was so dedicated, and he did his great austerity of his 1 year of severe fasting during Ekadashi and Dwadashi. And we know then Durvasa Muni came when he was just ready. Actually, it's very good. Today is the first day after Kartik. So it says that he did this vow during Kartik, and he broke it right at the end of Kartik. So it's a good time to remember. And then Durvasa Muni, just because he drank water, it just shows also, we should always remember, the most important thing is to perform devotional service in the proper way, with the proper consciousness, and not get hung up on rituals. So Durvasa Muni, this pastime shows us, sometimes we become so obsessed with rituals. It's just like in English you say, following the letter of the law instead of the spirit of the law. So the spirit of Krishna consciousness is to always think of Krishna, not to just do something mechanically. We don't chant our rounds mechanically. We chant them with great attention. And that's much more important than, when we do artik, we want to feel that this, when we do artik or when we're doing kirtan, we want to feel that this effort of mine to glorify Krishna is transmitted from the heart. It's not just some external thing that I'm doing, but it's transmitted from the heart to Krishna. So then Durvasa Muni became so angry that he took some hair from his head, threw it on the ground, and a big demon appeared. But that big demon, rushed towards Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj was not disturbed, just like it says. Prahlad was not disturbed at all by any of these things. He actually was actually thinking that, my poor father, he doesn't understand who is Krishna. That's why he kept saying. He wasn't being sarcastic when he was preaching to his father. Just like it looks like he was being a little sarcastic. Oh, king of the demons. No. The reason that you're asking me, what did I learn? I learned about Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smarana. No. He wasn't being trying to be sarcastic or challenge his father. He was thinking, let me give Krishna consciousness to him. Just like Lord Nityananda, he wanted to give Krishna consciousness to Jagai and Madai because he thought, if I do this, if they become devotees, then the fame of Lord Chaitanya will be broadcasted all over the three worlds. That was his determination. So the determination of Prahlad Maharaj was not, I'm going to show my father. No. He was sincerely trying to give him Krishna. That was his desire. He was never, and therefore he accepted all this. He accepted it as his karma. I had to, my father's doing this, just my karma. He wasn't thinking, wasn't disturbed. In the same way, a devotee, if we want to be successful in Krishna consciousness and actually advance, we should see what is happening to us. It's there in the Bhagavatam, so clear, in the prayers of Lord Brahma, Tattenu Kampam Samikshamana Eva, that Bhunjana Eva Atma Kritam. Atma Kritam. It is coming from what I did. Whatever is happening to me, the cause is something that I did. And by Krishna's mercy, it has been diminished. Srila Prabhupada makes this point again and again, that we are just getting just enough that we can remember that this material world is not my home. This is not where I belong. I don't belong to this material world. That's what we should think. And that way, you won't be disturbed. If you understand that everything that's happening to me, even the things I don't like, when I like it, we think, oh, it's happening to me because I did it. I achieved something. We're giving ourselves the credit. But when something bad happens, we give the credit to someone else. You rascal, no. Why did you do this to me? Why have you offended me in this way? No. Just like sometimes devotees come to me and they say, so-and-so offended me. I said, oh? No. And why? Why, they're rascals. No. I said, no, they're instruments of your karma. No. You should be happy. And some people are very good instruments, no? Expert, no? At giving us a lesson. They professional karma givers, and so you have to, but we tolerate it because we understand. And that's how you become peaceful. If you understand that what I'm going through is meant for purification. Krishna has arranged this, however horrible it may be. Otherwise we can get hung up on psychology. Oh, I'm traumatized. Well, you may be traumatized. And that may be a reality, and you may have to go through a process, and you may have to get some, treatment. But ultimately, when Krishna consciousness becomes stronger in one's heart, one does not become traumatized. One becomes realized. If we're on the material platform, we'll become traumatized. And if we're on the spiritual platform, we will become realized. Just like I always think, of when I see people in very, very difficult material situations, like, and they're in a war zone. I've been in a few war zones, and they don't have time to be traumatized. You're just thinking, how will I survive? How will I eat tomorrow? No time for trauma. Just how do I survive? I've seen this many, many places. People are struggling so hard just to survive. They don't know how they will be able to eat tomorrow. And of course, on the other hand, I've seen people like that. They depend more on God, on Krishna, if they're devotees. If they're not, they depend more on God. What other recourse do they have? I don't know if I'll be able to eat tomorrow. Otherwise, if I don't do something today, I won't be able to eat tomorrow. We're trying to make, security for the next 10 years or the next 50 years. How will I have enough money? How will I build up enough money so that I can retire? And, of course, that's all right if you're going to practice Krishna consciousness. But we see in the Bhagavatam, Prithu Maharaj, he said, he was so happy. Parikshit Maharaj was so happy. Now I can give up this kingdom. When he got cursed, he thought, finally I can give up this kingdom. Having the kingdom was an austerity. For us, losing something in this material world is an austerity. But for a great devotee, when they lose something, just like even, the Avaduta Brahman, he was greedy and miserly, and his family was very upset with him. And then, because of his greedy attitude, he began losing his opulence. Just like here, Hiranyakashipu. He's losing his opulence. Just like Durvasa Muni, he lost his opulence. He had all this power to create a demon. But by Parikshit Maharaj's undisturbed platform, the demon just was defeated, totally defeated by Sudarshan Chakra. It just burnt him up. And in the same way, Hiranyakashipu is thinking, I'm so powerful, but all his opulences are already diminishing just by his ill treatment of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj not disturbed, Ambarish Maharaj wasn't disturbed, Srila Prabhupada. So the Avanti Brahman, he was disturbed. But then he realized, actually, this is the first time in my life I'm peaceful. I don't have anything. And I'm actually feeling peaceful. And then this self-realization just blossomed in his mind and in his heart. And he became such a pure devotee. And everybody was against him. You just lost everything. That's why you're putting on this show of devotion. Just like there's We see many, even here in India, see so many sadhus, but they're sadhus by force, because they don't have anything, so sadhu becomes good business. Srila Prabhupada, he was sometimes upset with his father. His father was so generous to all these so-called sadhus. He would even keep a little ganja for the sadhu, because some of these sadhus used ganja. So here, some for Prabhupada. Therefore, Prabhupada almost didn't meet Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Just another sadhu. What does he want from me? This is the attitude. Prabhupada said that he was speaking about Calcutta in his time. He said that sometimes devotees would go to the door and knock on the door of some wealthy person, and they would say, yes, here, I'll give you some rice. See, your Krishna can't give you rice, but I'm giving you, otherwise I'm better than Krishna. I'm greater than Krishna. What happened to your Krishna? The residents of Navadvip, they also said this to the devotees. So Prahlad Maharaj was giving us the example. Certainly we could not tolerate what he went through, but he's teaching us whatever Krishna is giving us on our personal level of understanding and our capacity, it is perfect for us. It was perfect for Prahlad Maharaj to show how tolerant a devotee can be. We can't tolerate that much. Therefore, Krishna doesn't give us that much. He gives us what we need. Sometimes it seems to be intolerable. But if we have full faith in Krishna, we will understand it is not intolerable. Why would Krishna put me in this situation? And if it seems intolerable, or it seems comparatively speaking, why does other devotee, he just gets a little scratch on his arm, and I'm getting 2 broken legs and, in the hospital? No, because whatever I did was more severe, and therefore I'm having to make up with it. But Krishna will never give us something that is beyond our ability to tolerate. We just have to increase our ability to tolerate. And hearing these things from the Bhagavatam helps us to be able to tolerate, to go beyond psychological disturbance, physical disturbance, and come to the platform of pure Krishna consciousness. So, the last point I wanted to make, I believe it's in the previous verse also, that he was in perfect ecstasy, and when people saw him, he would transmit and transfer to them transcendental bliss. When Nakula Brahmachari was empowered by Lord Chaitanya had 3 manifestations. Sakshat, he would appear directly, before the devotees. He appears directly before us in the form of Gaurnitai. And he appeared avesha, like Nakula Brahmachari. He entered into the heart of Nakula Brahmachari, and he acted like Lord Chaitanya. And he appeared as Avirbhava, like Nisringha Brahmachari. He would appear, no one else could see him, but he would appear. And Nisringha Brahmachari could say, well, no, Lord Chaitanya is going to do this. He's not going to Vrindavan. He's only going to Natrashala, that's all. Then he'll have to turn back. Nobody could understand. And he appeared before Mother Sachi. Although she couldn't see his form. He was there and he ate the offering. Mother Sachi was confused. She thought some dog or animal had come in and eaten the offering off the altar. And then she went and checked. And yes, she had served it out. She served it out again. And then it was gone. And then finally, the Lord did appear and said, I will always appear. Whenever you offer something, I will take it. He appeared in the house of Shiva whenever there was a kirtan. He appeared whenever Lord Nityananda would dance, or even during the pastimes, the chipped rice pastimes. He appeared, no, but only Lord Nityananda could see him. No. So these manifestations are there, and Lord Chaitanya. So a great devotee, just like the Satyaraj Khan, he asked Lord Chaitanya, who is a Vaishnava? And Lord Chaitanya, first time he said, someone who once chants the holy name. This means the neophyte. He's the neophyte Vaishnava. Then the next time he asked him, he said, someone who is always chanting the holy name. This is the Madhyamadikari. And then the next time he asked him, who is a Vaishnava? He said, someone who, when you see them, you chant the holy name. This is like Srila Prabhupada or all of our acharyas. You just see them and you become spiritually enlivened. And so, this is Prahlad Maharaj. Just by seeing him, people would become enlivened. Just by seeing Lord Chaitanya, people would become enlivened. And so, this is the great treasure we have. And we may not be quite that potent, but when we take the potency of Srila Prabhupada in the form of his transcendental literatures, just by seeing these literatures, even Mayavadis or foolish people, just by reading these books, they are so transcendentally potent. Like many people have Bhagavatams. I had a Bhagavad Gita before I practiced Krishna consciousness. And I couldn't understand it. I thought I understood it, but then when I got Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, I realized I had not understood anything. And so this is the potency. That potency is not just the scripture itself, but it is the pure devotee who is manifesting that potency and transferring it to our hearts. And therefore it's so important to give Krishna consciousness in the form that Srila Prabhupada has given it to us, and especially in the form of his books, and the whole world can become Krishna conscious. Otherwise, the whole world will be engulfed in war and plague. Now we see that war is spreading everywhere, like wildfire. Some of these leaders are becoming mad with their power and wanting to impress upon others that they can do anything. But Krishna will also teach them. But Prabhupada said, we can prevent war by distributing these books. This is the best thing. Not some peace formula, some negotiation, like Trump says, I will teach Putin, I'll tell him, I'll stop this war in 24 hours. Okay. But we can stop it. But we may not be able to stop it in 24 hours. But because Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya wants us to make that effort to do that austerity. But we can stop it by distributing books, by preaching Krishna consciousness, by giving Krishna consciousness to everyone. Then people will demand, I don't want this war. I don't want this nationalism. I don't want this bodily conception. We want leaders who can take us beyond these things. And then we'll get a king like Prahlad Maharaj or Parikshit Maharaj, as Prabhupada said. The fact that Prabhupada said, this demon crazy, this democracy, it seems to be the best thing, because if you made if you made one of our modern leaders king, he would create a disturbance. But actually, by distributing these books, we can create the atmosphere where a real king can manifest. Otherwise, what does it mean, the golden age of Lord Chaitanya? You think that the golden age of Lord Chaitanya will happen with these leaders that we have nowadays? Either nationalists, materialists, autocrats. They're totally unqualified. But and people elect them. Why? For my economy, so I can get more material benefits. That's why they elect so and so and so and so. Or to increase the nationalistic spirit. So we're condemned by these leaders. But Srila Prabhupada, our parampara, they are saving us. from this disaster. So these are some thoughts I had on this verse. Any question or comment? No questions, no comments?
Maharaj, here we are talking about Prahlad Maharaj, how he was not disturbed. Of course, he is a pure devotee, Mahabhagavad, 3 times in
I have to
school.
put in my artificial ears.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
So just like we are hearing about Prahlad Maharaj, how he was not disturbed because he is pure devotee, Mahabhagavat. Now in our case, like I am a neophyte devotee. So I want to ask the conduct. Suppose like many times I have a headache. So morning time sometimes I have a headache. So whether I should push myself to chant or maybe because I take rest and then chant better when I am okay. So how it should be?
We always make our priority the best that I can do for Krishna. But sometimes there, we also can't be artificial. Otherwise, we want to push ourselves a little bit. We always try to, but not, otherwise it becomes a function of the false ego. To think that I can do something way beyond my own capacity. Then it becomes like I want to show others what I can do. But if it comes from my heart, I want to do more for Krishna. And you actually accomplish doing more for Krishna, then that is the right quantity of sacrifice. But to sacrifice too much, also, as Srila Prabhupada said, it's a gradual process. So we also have to take into account that I have to develop the qualities and the internal attitude to be able to do more. And if that's not there, then, and also, as there's the first thing that Srila Prabhupada emphasized more than anything else is chanting minimum 16 rounds. The second thing was follow the 4 regulated principles. And the third thing was taking care of your health. He mentioned more than any other thing. So, we also don't want to, we have to take care of this body that belongs to Krishna. So if we take care of if we're hypochondriacs, it means a person who's just obsessed with having health, just so I can have health, then that's not good. But if we think I need good health for my service, which is what Prabhupada wanted us to do, but it doesn't mean eating more or sleeping more than necessary. It means doing the necessary so that the body can function properly, so that I can do more service. So health should contribute to more service. And whatever we do, it should contribute to being able to do the greatest amount of service possible. Even having the proper mental, the proper degree of comfort. A devotee needs a certain degree of comfort. Just like Srila Prabhupada required also silence to be able to translate. So, you could say, no, if he's a topmost pure devotee, he can translate anywhere, anytime. No. It requires a certain psychological condition to be able to do. And so if we accept some degree of comfort, some degree of facility to do something, if it contributes to doing more service, then it's positive. And we can't just be fanatical and just, try to be more austere than we are, or to do more than we can actually do. Otherwise it becomes false ego. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you all very much. Oh, here's one. No, okay. We got one more question coming, or comment or something.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
As you said, Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahabhagavat. Just having his darshan, the desire to chant the holy name gets sprouted in our heart. So is there the description of the bodily features of Prahlad Maharaj in the Srimad Bhagavatam?
More features of Prahlad Maharaj?
Yes.
Well, all through this whole, from chapter...
Bodily features.
Bodily features. Not so much, not so much. There is a description in the Nrsimha Purana. He had very soft skin, he was very beautiful and had beautiful lotus eyes. But that's not always, usually that's reserved for Krishna. Sometimes the devotees are described that way, especially in the 10th canto. But generally, these devotees who are speaking in the Bhagavatam, they are describing Krishna. And sometimes they describe a devotee, just like Uddhava. His bodily characteristics are described because they're like Krishna's. So by describing those characteristics, we meditate more on Krishna. Okay, now, thank you all very much for your kind attention. The Prabhupada ki jai, Nantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna, we want to thank His Holiness Guruprasad Swami Maharaj for giving such an amazing, wonderful lecture. And again, tomorrow also we are going to have his association. Tomorrow 11:30 we are going to launch Srila Prabhupada book marathon. So Maharaj will be giving his association here. So Maharaj, we are very grateful for your coming here and giving our association. So let us chant one time Hare Krishna Mahamanta for his gratitude. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Holiness Guruprasad Swami Maharaj ki jai.